Hello and welcome to another edition of Focus on Morris County. I'm Joe Garifo, Public Information Director for the Morris County Government. Focus on Morris County is a program that's designed to keep us up to date on the actions that are being taken by the Morris County Board of Freeholders. And the show is also intended to make us all more aware of the many facets of Morris County government. For example, household hazardous waste and computer and electronics drop-off events, which the county sponsors every year. 2012 is no exception. And here to detail those events is my guest. He is Tom Burbridge. And Tom is with the Morris County Municipal Utilities Authority. He is the Hazardous Waste Coordinator. And he is also a yearly guest on the program because we want to make you aware of when these events are taking place. Tom, welcome to the program again.
Hey, Joe, thank you for having me.
For our folks who may not be familiar with these drop-off events, what is the basic purpose behind them?
Well, the purpose of these events is to give the residents of Morris County a safe, convenient, and environmentally friendly way to dispose of their household hazardous waste and used consumer electronics.
And we'll detail some of the items that are and are not hazardous household waste products. But before we do that, I want to ask Tom to give us the dates and the locations for each one of these drop-off events. Tom, would you do that?
Okay, sure. Morris County is going to have 4 events this year. The first event is going to be a Saturday, May 12th, at the Morris County Public Safety Training Academy, which is at 500 West Hanover Ave in Parsippany. Second event is going to be Saturday, June 23rd. That's going to be at Chatham High School, which is at 255 Lafayette Ave in Chatham. Third event of the year is going to be held at, again, the that's going to be Saturday, September 8th. And that's going to be, again, at the Morris County Public Safety Training Academy, 500 West Hanover Ave in Parsippany. And then the fourth and last event of the year is going to be held on Sunday, November 4th. And that's going to be at the Jefferson Township Department of Public Works Garage, which is at 1033 Weldon Road in Lake Apacong. And all the events are going to be held from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And all of those events are held rain or shine?
Rain or shine.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's look first at the electronic equipment that you say may be able to be dropped off at any one of those 4 events. Computer equipment, for example, what kinds of computer equipment will be accepted? Okay,
any type of computer equipment from the home. You know, your computers, your monitors, printers, scanners, copiers, fax machines, laptop computers. Again, any type of computer equipment that's generated from the home can be brought to these events.
Now, why should we not simply place this kind of equipment at the curbside for regular trash pickup?
Computer equipment contain toxic heavy metals such as cadmium, lead, mercury. These heavy metals are very hazardous to human health and the environment. So, and also now in New Jersey, it's mandatory that residents recycle these items. They're no longer allowed to be put in the trash.
Okay. Now, is there a fee for dropping these the electronic equipment off?
Yeah, no fees anymore. We did away with that just about a little over a year ago, so it's great, no fees. Yeah.
And when we're also talking about electronic equipment, I believe we're also talking about televisions, correct?
Yes, televisions also, again, have the toxic heavy metals in them. They have well over 8 pounds of lead. The old TVs have over 8 pounds of lead in them. So again, not hazardous to health and the environment. So, and also it's mandatory for residents to recycle those also.
Okay. What are any other kinds of electronic equipment where, you know, things, I don't know, like microwave ovens or that kind of stuff? Do you accept those too? Is that considered electronic equipment or
well, no, microwaves, are garbage.
Okay.
But stereos,
okay.
Boom boxes, stereos, anything with electronics in them, any type of thing like that. Old, speakers, turntables, cassette decks, anything, VCRs, DVD players.
Okay.
Yeah, anything electronic from the household would be recyclable.
Okay, and again?
And accepted.
Okay, and no fees for these either?
No fees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Household hazardous waste products. What kinds of materials here are we talking about and that will be accepted?
Okay. There's a pretty vast array of things. You can go automotive fluids. You can go, your motor oil, your antifreeze, your brake fluid, power steering fluid, gasoline, kerosene. You can. Then we get into batteries with our car batteries, rechargeable batteries, button cell batteries. We collect pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, oil-based paints, paint stains, paint thinners. You got pool chemicals, darkroom chemicals. Let's see, what else? Fluorescent light bulbs, driveway sealant, propane cylinders, helium cylinders, mercury thermostats, thermometers, things of that nature. So quite a bit of things.
Now, I hear you mention some specific battery types.
Yes.
What I did not hear you mention are the typical batteries that, the AA, the AAA batteries. You did not mention those. Why is that?
They've been deregulated. There's nothing really hazardous. It used to be mercury in them. Hasn't been mercury in them in years. It was waited until the old ones got out of the waste stream to deregulate them. They're no longer considered hazardous, and they should actually be thrown in the regular trash.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about if someone has, some kind of a liquid or a powder that is in a container? They know what it is, but maybe for whatever reason, through age or whatever, the product name itself has been worn away. Should these containers be marked so that you guys know what it is you're handling?
Absolutely. I mean, if the label is worn off and if the residents know what it is, they should write it on there. Because if we don't know and the people that handle the material don't know, you could have a very dangerous situation. You could affect their safety. You could have chemical reactions, explosion, fire, whatever. But absolutely, they would need to. We prefer the original labels, but if they fall off, by all means, they should write what the material is right on the label on the container.
Okay. Yeah. Now we talked about some of the batteries that are not accepted. I also heard you mention oil-based paints and thinners. I think most of us these days, if we're painting around the house, use latex paint. What do we do with those containers? I'm sure we have. I know I have a bunch of cans of latex paint down in the basement. They're half full. Can we bring those or no?
No. Latex paint is non-hazardous, so we don't accept latex paint. And what we recommend residents do is get their latex paint open. Make sure the can's no more than half full. Pour a few scoops of clay kitty litter or clay speedy dry into it. You start with a paint stick, a few more scoops, you're going to end up with 3/4 a can. It hardens in a few minutes. Leave the lid off, you throw it right in your garbage can. And that's the best, easiest, cheapest way to get rid of latex paint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is eligible to participate in these drop-off events?
Any Morris County resident is eligible for these events. They can come to these events, but bringing only residential waste.
Okay, so a business is not.
Businesses, schools are not allowed to come to these events.
Okay. Now, and before the program ends, we're going to give you the dates and the locations again. But if someone has these types of materials around the house, and for whatever reason they can't make it to one of these events, what do they do during the rest of the year? How do they dispose of these products? Does the MUA have some assistance for them?
Yes, absolutely. The MUA has we have a permanent household hazardous waste facility. It's located up in Mount Olive. It's open a couple mornings a week. It is by appointment only, so residents would have to call our number to schedule an appointment for that facility. The number for that to schedule the appointment would be 973-829-8006, and they would have to call the schedule.
Yeah. Okay. And we're going to give you that number again too in just a couple of minutes. But I'm curious, Tom, how much material, household hazardous waste material, electronic material, is collected in a given year by the MUA and kept out of the waste stream?
Okay, well, last year in 2011, we collected over 207,000 pounds of household hazardous waste, pretty good number, and over 247,000 pounds of used consumer electronic equipment, computers and TVs and things.
Yeah.
So quite a bit, almost, close to 500,000 pounds of material that was kept out of landfills or
and safely disposed of.
Safely disposed of or recycled. Yes.
Tom Burbridge, I'm going to ask you to give us the dates and the locations again for the 2012 drop-off events.
Okay. Again, the first event is going to be Saturday, May 12th at the Morris County Public Safety Training Academy, 500 West Hanover Ave in Parsippany. The second event is going to be Saturday, June 23rd at Chatham High School, which is at 255 Lafayette Ave in Chatham. Third event will be Saturday, September 8th, again at the Morris County Public Safety Training Academy, 500 West Hanover Ave in Parsippany. And then the fourth and final event will be at the Jefferson Township DPW Garage, which is it's going to be Sunday, November 4th, and that's in 1033 Weldon Road in Lake Apacong. And again, all the events are 9 o'clock to 2 p.m.
Okay, and if you wanted more information about these events, you can call 973-829-8006. And you may also visit the Morris County MUA's website, which is www.mcmua.com or .org?
.com.
Okay,
yeah.
www.mcmua.com. Tom Burbridge, I want to thank you very much for being with us today.
Okay, Joe, thank you for having me.
Now, if you have a question about Morris County government that you would like to have answered, you can call the Morris County Freeholders Office at 973-285-6010. And you may also visit the county government's website. That is morriscountynj.gov. And when you're there, sign up for the county's electronic newsletter, Morris County Connections. You can also take advantage of the many social media that the Morris County government embraces. I'm Joe Garifo. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm John Pecoraro, surrogate of Morris County. If a loved one passes away and you need to transfer property to their heirs, you must come to the surrogate's court. This is true even if the deceased did not have a will. This process is known as probate. Now, probate in New Jersey is not overly complicated, and my staff is available to assist you. If you have any questions, please call my office at 973-285-6500 or visit our website at morrissurrogate.com.
Welcome back to Focus on Morris County. I'm Joe Garifo, and I am joined in the studio on this segment of the program by Kristian McMorland. And Kristian is the superintendent of the Morris County Mosquito Extermination Commission. He is a yearly guest on the program because we think the information that he has to give us regarding mosquitoes and mosquito control here in Morris County is important for all of us to know. Kristian, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for having me here.
Let me ask you, first of all, before we start to get into tips about how to control mosquitoes throughout the county, if you would just give us a little overview of the Morris County Mosquito Extermination Commission and its work, its mission.
Sure. We here at the Morris County Mosquito Commission, we operate what they call an integrated pest management program. It's a scientifically driven organization that utilizes many techniques to control the mosquitoes. It's not just going out and spraying. We use water management, meaning we use equipment or hand tools to alter basically mosquito habitats. We use biological control. Last year we used Gambusia finis and some other mosquito-eating fish that we stocked in certain spots to help control mosquito populations. We're actually kicking around, maybe working with some copepods this year, which are tiny aquatic invertebrates that will be utilized to control mosquito larvae in various situations. And we do a lot of public education events to help spread the word and to meet people and talk to people about mosquito control.
Does every county in New Jersey have a mosquito commission?
Everybody has some form of mosquito control. It's not necessarily a commission, but state mandate that has it where every county has some form of mosquito control, whether it be a department or a section like a health department or something. But somebody's doing some form of mosquito control.
Okay. And here in Morris County, this is a service that the county provides to each of the 39 communities, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. We go everywhere in the county, from top to bottom, left to right. So it makes no difference which town it is. We do some form of mosquito control in there. Usually on a routine basis, sometimes due to service requests.
Yeah.
But we're there.
Is there a season for mosquitoes, a peak season when we're particularly stressed out about these pests?
Myself, right now, believe it or not, the end of March typically is the beginning of the active mosquito control season. Right now, if there's standing water out there, there could be some mosquito larvae floating around. We have a lot of time now in the beginning of the season to control them, but it usually starts at the end of March and runs all the way through at least the middle of October, sometimes towards the end of October. So it's a big chunk of the year is the actual mosquito control season. As far as peak goes, it's going to vary by the species. Springtime can be very busy, summertime can be very busy, late season can be very busy, and they're all due to different types of mosquitoes that come out at various times of the years. So it's kind of busy all year for us.
And we should note that while there is a peak season, your work is 12 months out of the year.
Absolutely, yeah. Good mosquito control is done 12 months out of the year. Water management can be done virtually year-round, and it is performed year-round, short of a very deep freeze or something along those lines where it makes it impossible to get to the water and clean out things.
Yeah.
When you're not treating for mosquitoes, you can actually be working on eradicating some of their habitat, and meaning one of our big programs is tire collections. It's something that helps both the environment and helps us out. I mean, each tire has the potential, I'm not saying it's going to, but has the potential during one summer to produce over 400,000 mosquitoes. So it's advantageous for us to actually collect these tires that are legally discarded. I'm not talking about ones that are properly stored or properly maintained or properly gotten rid of. These are the ones that are illegally discarded. People driving around, you drive around, you see them on the sides of roads or piles in the woods and such. And we'll work with the MUA on this program where they actually supply the funding to dispose of the tire and bring in containers that we can store them in. And we'll go through and we'll actually collect those tires that we've discovered throughout the year. And that's how we find them usually when people are out in routes. You never know what's going to be around the bend, and tire piles materialize all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, can you give us an idea as to how many of these abandoned tires you folks have collected over the years? Sure.
The program's inception was 2001, and since that time, we've collected over 56,000 tires from the county of Morris. And you find more every year. Yeah. And the reason why they are such an excellent breeding ground for mosquitoes is because they collect water? Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, they're a perfect man-made vessel for holding water. Okay. And not all mosquitoes utilize it, but enough of them do. Yeah. And a lot of them are West Nile mosquitoes, the Culex pipiens and such. So it's advantageous for us to get rid of them. So now, as a homeowner, what can we do to help control mosquitoes around our neck of the woods? Well, homeowners can do a lot. In line with what the tires being vessels to hold water, homeowners can police their own yards, because you'd be surprised how many things in an average person's yard will hold water and breed mosquitoes ultimately. It could be bird baths, kiddie pools, kiddie toys, trash cans, lids, just even miscellaneous garbage lying around, or a tarp. Each one of these things has the potential to produce thousands and thousands of mosquitoes. One of the ones that we'd like to make the homeowner aware about is unopened swimming pools. These can be very problematic in that an unmaintained, unopened swimming pool that's not maintained correctly, I'm not saying you have to open it, but you know, you have to cover it and make sure water's not sitting on top of it. But the ones that are just like totally disheveled looking, they have the ability to produce over 14 million mosquitoes in one season. That's really bad. The reason being is the type of mosquito that's going to utilize that habitat doesn't really travel very far. I mean, you're really doing a lot of damage to yourself and your immediate neighbors. That mosquito is also very active in the West Nile transmission cycles. So it's you know, there's a lot of things homeowners can do, and if people would maintain their own yards, it would free us up to actually work on some of the big areas that, you know, the regular homeowner is not going to be able to do, floodplains, woodland pools, things of that nature.
Yeah. Now, I understand that there is some concern that is building for a mosquito called the Asian tiger mosquito. Why is that?
Well, the Asian tiger, very brief history, started down in Texas about 25 years ago, has worked its way up throughout the country, and has arrived in New Jersey. In fact, colleagues down in South Jersey have been dealing with this problem for many years right now. The problem with the Asian tiger is once it becomes situated in a neighborhood and, you know, really finds the habitat that it needs and utilizes, it becomes pest number one. It's aggressive. It bites during the day. It's what they would call an ankle biter. So, I mean, it stays very low. It's just very nuisance-like. I would call it, in this area, it's probably very minor in the vector cycle of any diseases. You know, down south, or we're in the tropics or in subtropical areas, yes, it can transmit a lot of mosquito-borne viruses, dengue, yellow fever, and stuff. We don't really have that up here. So, as far as like in the West Nile cycle goes, it's a very minor player right at the moment. What we're more worried about is it becoming nuisance number one.
Okay.
And it's a very difficult mosquito to treat. You're talking, it utilizes backyard habitats perfectly. It's you know, colleagues have found it in bottle caps, you know, utilizing a bottle cap. Everybody's probably got a bottle cap sitting underneath a shrub somewhere. So it's hard to get rid of. The best.
What does it look like? Would we recognize it?
This is one of the most recognizable mosquitoes that you'll ever see. It's not your typical brown like most mosquitoes are. It's a jet black. I mean, it's actually, for lack of a better word, it's a beautiful little mosquito. It's jet black, it's small, and it's got very bright white stripes on there. It's very distinctive looking insect.
Well, now, what is the Mosquito Commission doing to try and alert the public and to be on the lookout for this guy?
Yeah, we've been working on some public education blitzes with some local health departments. In fact, one of the things we have is we're going to be going around some neighborhoods and putting out this door hanger. It gives a lot of good basic information regarding the Asian tiger mosquito, things that homeowners can do, things that neighborhoods can do. And we're going to try to target neighborhoods that we know we have this problem in, and see where it goes. There's also lots of good information on our webpage. Some of the local health officials are also putting up some information regarding these mosquitoes on their webpage. So it'll be spread around. We'll be able to get some information out there for the people to keep an eye out for it.
If you know, if we spot these mosquitoes in our yards, I mean, do we call someone? Do we let you know so that maybe you can come and try and treat the property?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. The first person I would call is us, as the Mosquito Commission. I mean, you could always contact your local health official too, and they would probably just come in contact with us. And primarily what we would come and do is actually do a habitat survey and see what's going on. Like I said, it's a very difficult mosquito to treat with an insecticide and stuff, though we would try to clean up whatever we could and then treat them so that they're not spraying around anymore. But yeah, I would give us a ring at our phone number.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Why don't we give you mentioned the web address, the website. Chris, give us the phone number for the Morris County Mosquito Extermination Commission and the website, because the website has some very useful information on it as well.
Oh yeah, the website's a fantastic clearinghouse for information. And in fact, I encourage everybody to take a look at it because I do update it rather routinely, especially during the mosquito season. And that is www.morrismosquito.org. And our phone number is 973-285-6450.
And among the items that you'll find on the website for the Morris County Mosquito Commission are the dates and locations should the Mosquito Commission ever have to go out and do some spraying for mosquitoes during the mosquito season.
Yes.
Chris, I want to thank you very much for
my
being
pleasure.
with us today, giving us some useful information about things that we can do around our own property to help control mosquitoes. Now, if you have a question about county government that you would like to have answered, you can call the Morris County Freeholders Office. And that telephone number is 973-285-6010. You may visit the county government's website at morriscountynj.gov. When you're there, please sign up for the county's electronic newsletter, Morris County Connections. And you can also see the various social media that the county uses. You can like us on Facebook, you can follow us on Twitter, and you can take advantage of the various other social media that we have there. I'm Joe Garifo. Thank you very much for being with us. Tune in again next week at this time, won't you, for another edition of Focus on Morris County.